Do you know what Islam is? It's a way of life for all. It is taught in the Quran for big and small.
Discuss Islam do have about 200 volunteers across the country, but the more the better.
And we put the tablecloth on this, yeah?
Yes, you have to put tablecloth. And I think unload it from the table because it seems like table is weak.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's very important to have volunteers. You need somebody who's locally aware of what's happening around this area and where the exhibition can happen and how they can help us arranging the logistic as well. Volunteers play a very important role for Discuss Islam. We love to have lots of volunteers. Volunteers, they contact us for the open days, for the exhibitions. After doing an event with them or two events with them, they want to do it on a regular basis. They want to participate in different events in different locality as well, different area, because they see the work, they look at the material, they look at the posters, they look at the services we provide and how we provide. That motivates them. That motivates them to be part of Discuss Islam.
Discover Islam consists of a core team of approximately 6 or 7 people and then many volunteers as well. The efforts are amazing, and in terms of the quality of work, the quality of presentations, everything about it has, in Islam we say ihsan, sort of perfection, mashallah. As they're walking past the posters, there's leaflets that's also on the edge of the table as well. So there and there is the sort of information area. On the inside of the tables are more aesthetic things, just pretty things to look at.
And so if there is one person or one sister dealing with 2 or 3 people, let it be, unless and until it becomes maybe a little bit difficult or so. This is something which is very important. Also keep on making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep on making dua that Allah makes it easier for you to answer in the right way. This is very, very important. And keep on doing istighfar as well. Because it may be that you give an answer and you say, yes, but that's not the point. The point is, for example, you've given an answer that clarifies the point in the right way.
It's been very interesting, and I was very glad to get the invitation. I have known that it's going on before, but normally I'm umpiring cricket on this Sunday, but fortunately or unfortunately the weather turned against it and that was cancelled. But I found it very interesting. It's very useful use of my time. I'm a very cradle Christian, and so have grown up with a lot of religion in my life and a lot of understanding of what other religions do. We are a very diverse society these days, and the more you get to know the other side, the more you realize we're all together. One of the things that I have always liked is this whole business about peace. When you talk about the prophets, there's always peace be unto him and this type of thing, which is, to me, is very important.
It's fascinating. I'm really pleased that I was invited here today because it gives you an insight into the Quran and the things that some of us don't understand. So it's quite enlightening to walk around and be shown and told how it all works. It's very interesting.
At work, we've sometimes had some discussions about religion and aspects of life, and I've always been very interested in that. And I've always been rather interested in how we live our lives and what beliefs we may have. Yeah, I think it's very good. I mean, I was lucky enough to have Nakib who came and taught me, walked around with me and talked me through some of the history of the religion, what its ethos is about. And we looked at all of the posters. And various other people have come up to me and given me some information, which is, very, very kind and much appreciated. And I've enjoyed it. I thought it was very good.
This is a really good idea about clearing up misunderstandings or clarifying perhaps misheld fears by some people.
I think in terms of its importance, I think this kind of an event is essential. And perhaps as Muslims we have that responsibility, so it's so important it's become a responsibility, because if we don't speak about Islam and don't speak about our way of life, then other people will speak on our behalf.
And it's very easy for a group who are just doing their normal prayer, their normal practices, to feel, for other people in the population, to feel kind of that they're alien in terms of their way they live, And when you think people are alien, you start to distrust them, and you think they're maybe not good people, they're up to no good. Whereas I think if you have something like this, you're giving people an opportunity to have a little bit of a look into the underlying nature of the religion and the people and the aspects of it, which gives you more clarity. You see, it's a bit like the difference between reading a headline of a paper and reading right through the paper.
I'm the elected Police and Crime Commissioner for Surrey, which kind of makes me a bit like Boris Johnson in London, except I haven't got any tube trains or buses, and as you can see, no hair. I think this is a really great opportunity for people to come along and see what Discover Islam's all about. It's probably one of the best exhibitions. I've been lucky, I've travelled a bit in the Islamic old world, if you like, but this is probably the most concise display of what Islam's about.
I work with people with multiple profound disabilities, and one of my clients is of Muslim faith. So I'm actively looking for information. It's not easy to find accurate information. There's a lot of misinformation, so it's nice to be able to come here and just speak to people and just explore.
Why I'm really supportive of this is this will enable Islam to become more open to people who are perhaps Christians or Buddhists or whatever, to understand what it's about, and also for people who are themselves believers in Islam to meet people from the other members of the community. So I'm very keen to see this go wide right across the whole of the UK.
So by providing a platform which is officially organised, calling respected members of the community, such as the Mayor as well, that we're showing that we're taking a proactive effort in engaging with the community, being transparent with the kind of things that we do, and really guiding them through any sort of questions or misconceptions they may have.
I think it's important, especially for here in Camberley, because you don't have a mosque in Camberley at the moment. This brings the community together more. We understand more about your religion, and we get to speak to many people here that actually just puts you right on a few things that maybe you just didn't know. One of my questions was about the covering up for the ladies, and because quite a lot of people don't understand why when they come into a free society that they still cover up. So understanding that was quite important for me, because lots of people talk about that in conversation. I'll now be able to answer that quite confidently as to why they do it.
I felt that I knew a fair bit, and I've come in today and realised I really didn't know very much at all. I think I knew about the 5 pillars of Islam, the very basics, and that was about it. I didn't realise the influence. I mean, I know you can't see it on camera, but over behind you, all the different boards, I just think it's fantastic.
It's quite interesting to know that the women are regarded more as equals, because one has never seen that, and I thought that was part of religion. So if you ask me if there's anything I've learnt, the Quran actually says that they are equals amongst equals and so on, which is very interesting.
Just when you think you know something, there's always another element. I took some time to speak to the man over there about language, because I didn't know that everyone reads Arabic the same. You know, it's the same letters, the same alphabet for everyone. I thought there would be different versions, but he explained to me all the details about that, which is really interesting.
No, it's been really good. It's interesting about the Islam embracing science and all of that side of stuff. I didn't realise. But yeah, it's been really good.
One of the things I learnt is that you don't shake hands with ladies. So that's something I shall take away with me. So that is something that I will remember now, so that when I'm greeted next time, then I shall greet them in the correct manner. So that's that is all these little things that you learn, you know, are respectful things. So it's good when you come to places like this, you learn about them, and then it makes a better understanding of when you're actually visiting maybe a mosque or you're visiting a restaurant where you're greeting people. It's excellent.
I've actually learned how to write my name in Arabic, which was really interesting, and some of the ladies were showing me how the letters, how they have different ways of writing them, whether they're at the start, the beginning, or the middle, and the fact that it was left to right, which I wasn't aware. So that's been really good. Yeah.
I've learned how to do a headscarf that is a bit more stylish than the ones I've attempted in the past.
Well, I suppose one key thing is that I always assumed Islam was very much at odds with Christianity. in its history. But actually, if you look at the evolution estimate, and I think there's the Torah in there somewhere as well, then you've got the New Testament in Jesus Christ, and Islam appears to kind of acknowledge and accept a lot of those teachings as successive prophecies. It's not that they've been rejected, so it's almost part of a bigger continuum, really. So that's there's probably there's more common ground than I would have thought.
We measure success possibly in a different way to how other people, how businesses may measure success. So in terms of our intention to try and organize an event where we're trying to do what the previous prophets did beforehand and to try and improve understanding of the religion, it's not something we measure through numbers. Because we go back to the story, both biblical, Quranic story of the Prophet Noah, where he was calling people towards the truth for 950 years, and only a score of people, maybe 20 people, accepted his message. Was he a successful person? He was one of the most successful people in history, so he was a success. So it depends, really. I mean, people have put a lot of effort in, a lot of people have attended, so in the sense of numbers, it's been good. In terms of we ask Allah to accept it, and if He's accepted it from us, then it's good for us as well.
If you've heard about Islam, or you hear about Muslims, or you're concerned and you're not a follower of Islam, I'd really encourage you to come and have a look at Discover Islam. It will break down so many misconceptions and so many fears. Indeed, it's got very similar principles for those people who may have had a Christian upbringing or background to those that you may have, and in fact even to people who follow the Torah and Jewish background, because frankly all three of them are what we call Abrahamic religions, and the principles are pretty much the same, which is look after those people who are not in good positions in life, look after your families, value each other and live peaceably and love your neighbour. That's exactly what Islam is about, as it is for Christians or for Jews. And I do wish people would just understand what everyone's about. So do come and have a look at Discover Islam and find out just what it is and see what the similarities really are with what you think.
A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way. It's a complete way.